Joe Borelli joins me now. Joe, let me say what I think about this race. I think it's exposed a chronic divide within the Democrat Party and within New York City. Jewish people against people of color, and that's an awful situation.
Well, it certainly has. And what's worse for the Democratic Party is this is a seat that falls somewhat in the southern portion of the Hudson Valley, similar to districts on Long Island in Suffolk and Nassau County, where Democrats believe they have to win in order to take back the House. This doesn't portend well. If you are another suburban Democrat, you can see clearly now from these results that your party is split. It's split down the middle. It's split hard. And there is no going back for people who have taken pro-Hamas positions within the ranks of your party.
Bowman is blaming, he used the expression, he's blaming Jewish money.
Yeah, and that's the spin, and that's the spin we're going to hear out of the DSA coming out of this, yes. That AIPAC, was a single-handed force behind this win. The truth is this guy was an embarrassment. He was an embarrassment on the national stage. He was an embarrassment on the local stage. All of the local Democrats, the most prominent ones, abandoned him. This wasn't about AIPAC. This was a man who was fundamentally out of step with a suburban district, only has a small part of the Bronx, and they rejected him. As sure as your tie is red, we will have some, unhappy conversation about George Latimer, some vote he takes. But we should remember this day, that it was a day where decency, a decent person, I served with George in the state legislature, a fundamentally decent human being beat a radical embarrassment.
There's something going on in the city schools here, and I want to know more about it. Public schools are launching a new division aimed at helping the migrant and disabled communities. They're repurposing, $750 million to this new division. What's this all about?
Yes, so this is almost $1 billion. This is almost, 4 or 5% of the city's education budget. This tells me two things. Number one, that the services needed to educate these migrant children are the most costly and large-scale ancillary services we possibly have. They're being lumped in with children with severe special needs, who, as you know, need all sorts of additional services. They're being lumped in that same category. The second thing it tells me is that this migrant crisis is a permanent thing. This is a step to make educating these students a permanent thing, where we're going to have to come up with a plan to educate children who are coming here from countries, A, without parental involvement, B, without real education systems, and C, have probably spent a year of their life outside of the school system walking through, the Darien Gap and what have you.
There's no way around it, is there? I mean, they are here, and by law, they've got to be educated.
Yeah, and if Biden wins, you will see no reduction in the migrants in New York City, by far. If Trump wins, even still, he has said the worst first. People who are committing crimes here while there are guests, those rightfully should be the first people to go. And I don't think you'll ever see mass deportations or anything like that.
Got it. Joe Borelli, thanks for joining us. See you later.